Welcome to Stars Forever, where Stephanie celebrates the lives of unforgettable people whose presence still shines through the legacy they left behind. This channel is devoted to honoring beloved figures from film, music, television, and culture, remembering their journeys, their influence, and the inspiration they gave the world. Here, their stories continue to live on with meaning and heart. Born on May 31, 1938, Peter Yarrow became a defining voice of the 1960s folk revival as part of Peter, Paul, and Mary, a trio known for harmonies that shaped a generation of socially conscious music. Their songs carried warmth and purpose, blending simple acoustic sound with messages of peace and change. Performances of pieces like Puff, the Magic Dragon, and Blowin' in the Wind helped turn concerts into shared emotional experiences rather than just entertainment. Yarrow's style was rooted in sincerity, and he often emphasized storytelling as the heart of music, believing songs could connect people across differences. Off-stage, he remained engaged in education and social causes, using his influence to support community initiatives and awareness programs. Over time, his work continued to resonate with new audiences discovering folk music's role in cultural history. Even as musical trends evolved, his contributions remained a steady reference point for artists who value meaning and simplicity in songwriting. Peter Yarrow passed away at the age of 86, leaving behind a legacy carried forward through music that continues to be sung, remembered, and shared across generations. Lord Sear, a respected DJ and radio personality, passed away at the age of 52, leaving behind a lasting mark on hip-hop broadcasting and music culture. Known for his distinctive voice on New York City radio and Sirius XM, he became an important figure on the influential Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito Show, a program widely credited with helping spotlight emerging talent during hip-hop's golden era. Through that platform, he was part of introducing artists such as the Notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, and the Fugees to wider audiences, shaping the early visibility of artists who would go on to define a generation. Beyond radio, he expanded into production work, live touring, and entertainment projects, including joining Eminem on the Anger Management Tour. He also contributed voice work to the Grand Theft Auto series, further extending his creative reach. Remembered for his energy, versatility, and deep connection to music culture, his legacy continues to resonate within both radio and hip-hop communities. His influence is still felt in the way modern radio blends discovery, culture, and artist development across platforms. Actor and director Ivan Dixon, born 95 years ago this week, is remembered for a quietly influential career that helped shape American television and film across several decades. Many audiences first came to know him through his role as Sergeant Kinchloe in the television series Hogan's Heroes, where he brought a grounded sense of intelligence, calm authority, and warmth to a character who often stood out amid the show's comedic chaos. His presence added balance and humanity to the ensemble, making the role memorable far beyond its screen time. Beyond acting, Dixon built an impressive body of work behind the camera, directing television episodes and films that reflected strong storytelling instincts and a commitment to meaningful representation. His work often carried subtle depth, focusing on human experience with clarity and respect. He passed away at the age of 76, leaving behind a legacy defined not by constant spotlight, but by consistent excellence and artistic integrity. Over time, his contributions have gained renewed appreciation, as audiences and creators alike recognize the importance of his voice in shaping television history. Even today, his influence continues in how television characters are written and how stories are told. Gregory Peck, born 110 years ago this week, is remembered as one of cinema's most respected actors. His career left a quiet but lasting mark on film history, built on performances that felt grounded and deeply human. His Oscar-winning role as Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird stands out most. In the film, he played a calm lawyer who stands against injustice in a divided society, and his performance became a symbol of quiet moral strength rather than loud drama. Many still see it as one of the greatest hero portrayals in cinema, not for spectacle, but for honesty and restraint. Peck passed away at 87, but his influence never really faded. His work still feels relevant today, especially in discussions about fairness and empathy. In a world of constantly changing performances, his remains steady and enduring. His legacy shows that true greatness on screen often comes from simplicity, sincerity, and lasting humanity. Francisco San Martín, born on August 27, 1985, was a Spanish-born American actor known for his work in television and the natural ease he brought to every performance. He gained recognition for originating the role of Dario Hernandez on the long-running soap opera Days of Our Lives, where his portrayal quickly connected with audiences through its sincerity and charm. Born in Mallorca, Spain, he grew up between Spain and the United States, spending time in Madrid and Montana, a background that gave him a multicultural perspective and helped him adapt to many roles. He later appeared in The Bold and the Beautiful and Jane the Virgin, showing versatility across both drama and lighter storytelling. Colleagues often described him as warm, focused, and dedicated to his craft, someone who approached acting with quiet discipline rather than attention-seeking. His performances were marked by emotional honesty and restraint, allowing characters to feel grounded and relatable. Francisco San Martín passed away at the age of 39, leaving behind a body of work that continues to be appreciated by viewers who remember his contributions to television storytelling and authenticity he brought to screen. David Johansen, born on January 9, 1950, was a performer who brought music to life with an unmistakable sense of energy and personality. Best known as the frontman of the New York Dolls, he played a key role in shaping the raw, rebellious spirit that would later influence the rise of punk. His early performances were marked by bold expression, theatrical movement, and an unfiltered style that made him stand out in a crowded and evolving music scene. What defined Johansen most was not just his singing, but the way he inhabited the stage. He had a natural ability to connect with audiences, mixing intensity with humor and spontaneity in a way that made every performance feel unique. Later in his career, he reinvented himself as Buster Poindexter, revealing a different musical identity rooted in lounge-inspired rhythm and blues. This shift highlighted his versatility and willingness to explore new creative directions without being tied to a single persona or genre. Throughout his career, Johansen remained committed to performance as an art form, whether in small clubs or larger venues. His work reflected individuality, creative freedom, and a refusal to conform to expectations. He passed away at the age of 75, leaving behind a legacy defined by originality and artistic fearlessness. His influence continues to inspire musicians who value expression over convention. Angelina Jolie was born into a world already shaped by fame, distance, and emotional complexity. Her father, John Voight, was an established actor, and her mother, Marceline Bertrand, devoted herself largely to raising Angelina and her brother after the marriage broke down when Angelina was very young. The absence of her father from her daily life became a defining emotional thread in her upbringing. Although he remained a public figure, his role in her childhood was inconsistent, creating a sense of separation that she later reflected on in interviews as confusing and painful rather than purely antagonistic. Her mother carried the responsibility of stability, often prioritizing her children's emotional and practical needs over her own career ambitions. This household environment, while filled with artistic influence, was also marked by financial pressure and emotional rebuilding. Growing up in Los Angeles, Angelina was exposed early to the contradictions of Hollywood life: visibility without intimacy, admiration without understanding. She was not insulated from the industry's expectations. Instead, she lived adjacent to it, observing both its glamour and its emotional cost. These early experiences shaped her awareness of vulnerability, abandonment, and resilience. While later narratives often exaggerate or dramatize her childhood struggles, what remains consistent in her own accounts is a sense of emotional searching, trying to understand identity within a fractured family structure. This foundation, rather than defining her as broken, became part of the emotional sensitivity she would later channel into her acting and humanitarian work. School years and identity formation. During her teenage years, Angelina Jolie attended Beverly Hills High School, a place where social hierarchies were deeply influenced by wealth, appearance, and industry connections. She often described feeling like an outsider during this period, not because she lacked privilege, but because she did not conform easily to the expectations of her environment. Her appearance, distinctive and unconventional compared to mainstream beauty standards of the time, made her both noticeable and isolated. While some students gravitated toward her intensity and individuality, others distanced themselves, contributing to her sense of emotional detachment. Rather than finding comfort in traditional school structures, she gravitated toward creative expression. Acting became an early outlet, not immediately as a career ambition, but as a space where emotional complexity was not only accepted, but required. She also experimented with alternative aesthetics and identities during this time, reflecting a broader search for self-definition. These choices, often interpreted externally as rebellion, were internally tied to exploration and emotional processing. She completed her formal education, but did not follow a conventional academic path afterward, instead choosing to study acting more seriously. What stands out about this period is not sensational behavior, but the development of an identity shaped by observation, emotional intensity, and artistic curiosity. These formative years built the foundation for her later ability to portray psychologically complex characters with authenticity and depth. Early acting and training. Angelina Jolie's entry into acting was not immediate success, but gradual development through training and small roles. She studied at the Lee Strasberg Theatre Institute, where method acting techniques encouraged emotional immersion and psychological realism. This training environment emphasized connecting deeply with character motivations, sometimes drawing from personal experience, but always within a structured artistic framework rather than personal instability. Her early film appearances were varied and experimental, reflecting a young actress searching for range and recognition. Projects like Hackers introduced her to wider audiences, even if the film itself did not achieve major commercial success. What it did accomplish was positioning her as a distinctive screen presence, someone capable of combining vulnerability with intensity. Casting directors and filmmakers began to notice her ability to shift emotional tone rapidly, creating performances that felt unpredictable yet grounded. During this stage, she was still building her professional identity. She was not yet defined by awards or global fame, but by potential. Her early career demonstrates the slow accumulation of craft rather than overnight transformation. It also reflects the broader reality of many actors: periods of uncertainty, experimentation, and gradual recognition, before breakthrough roles solidify their place in the industry. Breakthrough roles and critical recognition. Angelina Jolie's breakthrough came through performances that demanded emotional depth and psychological complexity. In Gia, she portrayed a real-life model whose life was marked by success and tragedy. The role required her to engage with themes of identity, addiction, and vulnerability, and her performance was widely praised for its emotional authenticity. It marked a turning point where she was recognized not just as a rising actress, but as one capable of carrying deeply challenging material. Her role in Girl Interrupted further solidified her reputation. Playing Lisa Rowe, she delivered a performance that balanced charisma and instability, earning her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. The role became culturally significant, not because of sensationalized interpretations of her personal life, but because of the skill with which she portrayed psychological complexity on screen. These performances were often misunderstood in public discourse as reflections of her personal identity, when in reality, they demonstrated her ability to inhabit difficult characters with precision. The success that followed placed her among Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. However, it also brought increased scrutiny, where public fascination sometimes blurred the line between character portrayal and real-life persona. Public scrutiny and early fame. As her fame grew, Angelina Jolie became a subject of intense media attention. Her interviews, personal relationships, and public appearances were often analyzed far beyond the scope of her professional work. This period marked a shift from being an actress gaining recognition to a public figure constantly interpreted through the lens of celebrity culture. Her relationship with Billy Bob Thornton attracted significant media attention due to its visibility and unconventional expressions of affection. While widely discussed in entertainment media, the relationship was, at its core, a personal partnership that eventually ended without scandal but with mutual separation. Public fascination, however, often exaggerated or dramatized aspects of their dynamic, reflecting broader patterns in celebrity coverage rather than factual reality. During this time, Angelina Jolie's public image became layered with projection. Some saw her as rebellious, others as intensely artistic or unconventional. What is often overlooked is that she continued working consistently, building a filmography that demonstrated range rather than chaos. Fame brought opportunity, but also distortion, where perception increasingly diverged from lived reality. Relationships, motherhood, and personal transformation. A major shift in Angelina Jolie's life came with motherhood. Her adoption of her first child marked a profound change in priorities, introducing a stability that contrasted with the earlier unpredictability of her personal life. Motherhood became a grounding force, reshaping how she approached both her career and her public role. She later expanded her family through additional adoptions and biological children, building a household that reflected her commitment to global awareness and cultural diversity. Rather than being symbolic gestures, these decisions were deeply personal and centered on family building. She often emphasized that motherhood redefined her understanding of responsibility and emotional focus. This period also coincided with increased humanitarian engagement, where personal experience and global awareness began to intersect. Her identity expanded beyond acting into advocacy, but always rooted in lived experience rather than abstract idealism. The transformation was not sudden, but gradual, shaped by personal relationships and evolving priorities. Humanitarian work and global advocacy. Angelina Jolie's humanitarian work became one of the most consistent aspects of her public life. As a goodwill ambassador and later special envoy for refugee issues, she traveled extensively to conflict zones and displacement camps. These visits were not symbolic appearances, but sustained engagements that involved meeting displaced families, documenting humanitarian conditions, and advocating for policy attention. Her work with displaced populations brought visibility to global crises that often received limited media coverage. Over time, she became involved in broader advocacy efforts related to education, protection of women in conflict zones, and refugee rights. She also co-founded initiatives aimed at conservation and global development. While public interpretation of celebrity activism can be divided, her involvement in humanitarian work has been widely recognized within international organizations as sustained and substantive. It represents a parallel career that developed alongside her acting, rather than replacing it. Later career, health decisions, and public openness. In later years, Angelina Jolie made deeply personal health decisions that she chose to share publicly to raise awareness. After learning she carried a genetic risk for certain cancers, she underwent preventive surgeries, including a double mastectomy, and later removal of her ovaries and fallopian tubes. These decisions were medical and preventative, rooted in family history, and genetic counseling. Her openness about these procedures contributed significantly to public understanding of preventive healthcare and genetic risk. Rather than framing it as loss, she presented it as informed choice and empowerment through medical knowledge. This period also reflected a broader shift in her public voice toward transparency, education, and advocacy. Her career during this time continued with both acting and directing projects, often focusing on themes of human rights, conflict, and resilience. She maintained a balance between private decision-making and public communication, choosing carefully when to share personal experiences for broader awareness. Relationships, separation, and legal complexity. Angelina Jolie's later personal life included her long-term relationship with Brad Pitt, with whom she shares children and professional collaborations. Their partnership, often referred to in media discourse as a cultural phenomenon, eventually ended in separation. The legal proceedings that followed have been complex and ongoing, involving custody arrangements and asset division. While media narratives frequently emphasize conflict, the reality of such proceedings is typically procedural and prolonged rather than sensational in nature. Both individuals have continued their professional work during this time, while maintaining focus on their children. Co-parenting in high-profile circumstances often brings additional scrutiny, but both parties have expressed commitment to maintaining stability for their family. Legal processes of this scale are inherently lengthy, and much of what appears in public discourse is filtered through speculation rather than confirmed detail. The weight of reinvention and public narrative. As Angelina Jolie moved further into her 40s and 50s, the questions surrounding her life shifted less toward breakthrough or scandal and more toward endurance. Few public figures remain under continuous global observation for decades, while simultaneously evolving across multiple roles: actor, filmmaker, humanitarian, mother, and public advocate. With that longevity comes narrative distortion. Stories that once emerged from specific moments in her early career began to harden into simplified myths that no longer reflected her present reality. She was no longer just a rising actress or a tabloid fascination. She had become a long-term cultural reference point, someone whose image carried accumulated meanings far beyond her actual day-to-day life. This period of her life has been defined by deliberate recalibration. Professionally, she has shifted toward directing and producing, often selecting projects that align with human rights themes or historical conflict. Personally, she has maintained a strong emphasis on privacy, particularly regarding her children, resisting the tendency of celebrity culture to turn family life into public narrative. The contrast between public perception and private intention has grown more pronounced over time, revealing how fame can fossilize earlier versions of a person while they continue to evolve in real life. What stands out most in this stage is not transformation through crisis, but stabilization through choice. Rather than being defined by the intensity of earlier decades, she appears increasingly focused on continuity, building work that lasts, relationships that are stable, and a public presence that is intentional rather than reactive. Legacy, influence, and the separation between myth and person. Angelina Jolie's legacy exists on multiple planes at once: cinematic influence, humanitarian impact, and cultural symbolism. In film history, she is associated with a distinct type of screen presence: intense, emotionally layered, and capable of conveying vulnerability and strength simultaneously. In humanitarian contexts, her work with displaced populations and global institutions has contributed to sustained awareness of refugee issues and conflict-driven displacement. These contributions are tangible and documented, forming part of her professional identity beyond entertainment. However, alongside these concrete achievements exists a parallel layer of myth-making. Over time, public narratives have tended to condense her life into dramatic fragments: select relationships, health decisions, or early personal struggles, often detached from context. This process is common in celebrity culture, where complexity is reduced into easily recognizable storylines. In Jolie's case, The result has been an ongoing tension between the person who lives a structured, evolving life and the symbolic figure constructed by decades of media attention. Her influence, therefore, is not limited to one field. It lies partly in her body of work, partly in her advocacy, and partly in how she represents the limits of public understanding itself. Her story highlights how fame can both amplify real achievements and distort them into simplified narratives. In separating myth from person, what remains is a long, multifaceted career shaped not by a single defining moment, but by sustained adaptation across time. Top of form, bottom of form, reflection on fame, identity, and public perception. Angelina Jolie's life illustrates the tension between public perception and personal reality. Over decades, she has been simultaneously celebrated, scrutinized, and mythologized. Her identity in public discourse often shifts depending on narrative framing: actress, humanitarian, mother, or celebrity figure, while her lived experience remains far more complex and grounded. What emerges from her story is not a singular transformation, but an accumulation of roles, choices, and responsibilities. Her career demonstrates artistic range, while her humanitarian work reflects sustained engagement with global issues. Her personal life, often heavily publicized, exists alongside, but separate, from these professional and advocacy efforts. Ultimately, her story is less about extremes and more about continuity, navigating fame, responsibility, and personal growth under constant public observation.